Now it's that time of the night where I take your questions, and I'm absolutely delighted to say that joining me now is Tina McQueen, the legend herself. Tina, it's great to have you on the show, and
Hi,
particularly
Cory.
I know the viewers love you responding to their calls. Hey, I've got one for myself before we get into the viewer questions. Tina, who's going to win the Victorian election tomorrow and why?
Look, I think Dan Andrews will still scrape over the line. He shouldn't. He doesn't deserve to. But I think it's going to be a lot closer than I would have thought a couple of months ago, Cory. So we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, I'd love to see him toppled. He deserves to be thrown out. But gee, 18 seats, big ask.
Yeah, it's a huge ask, but I'll be tuning into Sky tomorrow night, 5 o'clock, because I think it's a really important election to see what governments can be getting away with. Exactly. We might be popping the champagne corks. All right, let's get into it. Connor asks, can Albanese just stop pretending he's in opposition? This Morrison inquiry is a stitch-up. Now, Tina, that's an interesting question. I haven't thought the Prime Minister has acted like an opposition leader, but the inquiry into Scott Morrison, maybe it was necessary. What's your view?
Yeah, look, sadly, it is necessary. I mean, it was severe overreach, and I think the comments by Frydenberg are just, very telling, where he said, had they all known about this, Morrison may have been rolled. So, yeah, it's very serious. I can't agree with the viewer on this one. This is the one thing. I mean, Labor does a lot of stitch-ups on Liberals, but sadly, this isn't one of them. Morrison has questions to answer, and, I think when we all found about what he did, it was just unbelievable, incredulous. So, yeah, there's a lot of questions to answer. It's a shame because this will continue to distract from Peter Dutton.
Yeah, well, it'll be over soon enough, but we now know why he kept it a secret, because he would have been rolled. Trust me on that one.
Yes.
All right, Rob asks, what did you think of the meeting between Claire ONeill and the Western Sydney mayors? Now, Tina, of course, this was about the minister refusing to meet with the people who were worried about ISIS brides in their electorates being plonked there, but she's finally done it. What's your take?
Well, she should have done it weeks ago, Cory. I mean, this particular area should have been consulted before they repatriated some of the ISIS brides back there. It's a very serious issue. I think it was incredibly rude and dismissive of those mayors in southwestern Sydney. She has met with them. She's promised that they'll be sent back to where they originally came from. But we'll wait and see on that one. They didn't dare send any back to Victoria before this election. So I hope these mayors hold Claire ONeill to account on this matter.
Yeah, I do too. All right, here's a cheeky one for you. Senator Ralph Babette asks, when will the Liberals stop being Labor light? I'm asking that question too, Tina. What's the answer?
Well, a lot of branch members have asked that question over the last 12 months, and I tell you, it starts now. I mean, Peter Dutton's been very strong. We're going to have really distinct policies from Labor in so many areas, and I think the party has recognised that. Peter Dutton, the leader, has recognised that, and we have to do what the members and the electorates want, and be very different from Labor. Have sane policies, and if we stick to that, we've got a good chance of winning the next election, Cory, but we have to be strong in our convictions.
Yeah, absolutely. Tina, before we get to the next viewer question, can I pick up on what you said there? I've noticed this week that there's a number of Liberals that are out there pushing nuclear energy. It's frustrating to me. I thought, why didn't you do it when you were in government? Why didn't they support people like me that were pushing it, and others? Matt Canavan was doing it as well. Why now? Why do they come up with this now, find their courage when they can't do anything about it?
I think the pennies dropped. I also think the former Prime Minister was quite dictatorial. You couldn't really have a say. He didn't want to waver what he thought was right. But there's definitely a push for nuclear. And funny, Cory, I was at a function last night. There are lots of people that are so sorry you left the party. They love watching the show and they wish you were still in the tent. You're a talent lost. But, yeah, there's a big push for nuclear, and I think they're going to go through with it.
Yeah, I'll let that flow right through to the keeper. Hey, I've got 30 seconds left, but Taylor asks, why did Dan Andrews vote in a different electorate? Is he scared of his own voters? It looks like that, doesn't it, Tina?
Well, I think he is. He has that wonderful candidate running against him that was, involved in Sluggate. And to use the excuse of the family altogether, if his kids can't go to where he lives and his electorate to vote, there's something very wrong. I mean, to do that, post that happy snap outside his electorate, it's really disgraceful what he's done. And, I hope they vote him out of his own electorate. But clearly he's not feeling a real chipper about it, Cory, to run from his own electorate to cast a vote, and early. And also, he has not visited one pre-poll. He's been very laid very low, and that's highly unusual for a leader not to, run around every pre-poll and garner as many votes as he can. So he's scared of something, and that's a good thing.
Very true. Something's changed in the last couple of days.
Yes.
Tina McQueen, love your insights. Always appreciate you joining me here on Bernardi, and you have a great weekend. Let's hope we can pop the champagne corks tomorrow night.